today the gap for small medium enterprises only in the emerging markets is close to $5.7 trillion, and it is not coming down. Last year it was 5.2. The gap is going to grow, and we do not have the mechanisms which are available today to solve those. So banks are definitely trying, but having more credit officers is not going to solve them. If they have AI assistants who would be able to provide the credit officers the right kind of guidance and support, then we can still look at addressing large part of this gap.
Good morning, everyone. So we are in the Singapore Fintech Festival 2025, day 2. I with me Shrikant Patil. He is the CEO and MD of DigiAlly. So he's obviously headquartered in Singapore, and he's also a Nucleus partner. So he is providing us a trust course to get data and provide more data about the end users to agents and banks in the process. Thank you, Shrikant. So
My pleasure.
My pleasure. Yes. So Shrikant, I know you're inventing something which is very new, which is relatively untried for financial institutions as well as large corporates to rely on to learn about the third parties, credit history and those things. So I just want to check with you, what trends are you seeing in this business? What's new which you feel is driving the evolution of this new business?
Singapore Fintech has come to a very important milestone, which is 10th year of Singapore Fintech Festival.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad to see that I've been attending this festival at least for 8 years, and I've been seeing tremendous trajectory towards defining not only what is coming in the shorter run, but also in the longer run. So we see a lot of conversations about new ideas, new fintech opportunities which are coming in. There is discussion about regulatory aspects. There are new funding news which are coming in. So there is huge excitement at this stage with Singapore Fintech Festival, which is the 10th edition. And even before this, there was event which is associated with the Singapore Fintech Festival, which is Insights Forum. We heard a lot about stable coins. We heard a lot about how the combining of the wallets, which is the digital currency, and the entire stable coin related currencies will come in. So there is a confluence which we are seeing now. Blockchain also, we are seeing of many opportunities which are evolving. So pretty exciting. I mean, this is a very exciting phase of what Singapore Fintech as well as the global Fintech is.
Absolutely. So if you can just tell us more in detail about the solution and the way you have evolved it, and how are you making it so unique and differentiated compared to the other kind of
So if we just look back with what is being offered today is we get identity layer through multiple solutions like SyncPass or Aadhaar, and across the world we have the identity solutions. The second dimension is the payment solutions. You see UPI, you see Pay Now. US is trying to launch Fed Now. It's probably going to take some time, but over these two stacks, there is another stack which comes in, which is the consent stack, which is how you approve some of these transactions, how your user data is managed and all of that. But there is a big gap today, is the B2B trust. So when two organizations start to talk to each other, they first have to do a lot of due diligence to understand what this company is, whether it is fit for their purpose, it is something which is aligned to their culture. Do they have the right intent?
Yeah.
Are they cooking books? And there are many behavioral patterns which have to be identified before you actually get in the contract or partnership with a particular company. Now, what we are doing is we are creating a digital twin of a company, which is a mid-market company. And the digital twin essentially talks about the behavioral dimensions. So we are, in a way, humanizing the way organizations are perceived, specifically for the partnerships, specifically for the investments, and also lending, as well as the supply chain.
Okay, that's good. Now, coming to a very hot topic today, right? The credit gap which SMEs are facing, right? So, SMEs contribute maybe 70% of the world GDP, but banks really don't see them as a credible player when it comes to lending to them. So, how can the scoring you provide eliminate that gap and can help towards getting SMEs more credit worthy?
You're absolutely right. Today, the gap for small medium enterprises only in the emerging markets is close to $5.7 trillion, dollars, and it is not coming down. Last year, it was 5.2. Now, what it means is that over a period of time, the gap is going to grow, and we do not have the mechanisms which are available today to solve those. So, banks are definitely trying, but having more credit officers is not going to solve them. It, it if they have AI assistants who would be able to provide the credit officers the right kind of guidance and support, then we can still look at addressing large part of this gap. Yeah. What we see happening is that to solve the access to finance for SMEs, we have to first solve the access to data, which is a critical aspect of why there is a asymmetry of data between the borrower and the lender. And we are exactly solving that. We are looking at how can we amplify or how can we provide the correct picture of what an SME is, not only on the financial side, but also on the operational side, as well as the market opportunity side to the lender so they can make a decision. And it's not only about the risk, it's also about the opportunity, because what our score does is it also identifies ability to reflect on the customer lifetime value, and which is a decision which the customers have to make at the time of onboarding, at the time of their portfolio monitoring. Okay. So that gives them the end to end view of whether they should be even looking at this lead, which is an important lead, whether they should be approving this customer through their credit process. And also, when they look at the portfolio monitoring, are they holding the right portfolio from the perspective of customer lifetime value also?
So, drilling down on this further, right? SMEs obviously don't have the same kind of data, right? So, how are you getting this data about SMEs from sources outside the SMEs database?
So if somebody asked me this question 3 years ago, that the data about SMEs, uh, when we were just starting up and we were looking at some of the possibilities, where training the models and all of that for machine learning and deep learning, it was difficult. Okay. It was probably challenging. But as we progressed over these 3 years, there is tremendous amount of data which is available for small medium enterprises, and I'm not talking purely from a micro perspective, but the mid market companies. There is tremendous opportunity for tapping into this alternative data and improving our credit dimension, because one of the challenges which we see is that when we think about the finance data is always dated. You never get today's data when you analyze it. So most of the decisions which are made by credit related formulas is about something data which is dated 6 months ago. Sometimes it's 1.5 years ago. Okay, because of the filing flexibility which the companies get. So you cannot rely on data. So what we have developed is creating that alternative data based models, which includes the comprehensive suite of data, 250 data points, which are fed to the model. And then the model predicts the behavior of the company on multiple dimensions. Okay.
So, what's your sales strategy? Like, who do you actually work with? Who are their model customers who engage with?
So of course, our sales strategy is a mixed sales strategy. But in 2025, we have actually looked at working through the partners more than just going out to market on our own. One of the reasons for that is we very well fit into loan management system, loan origination system, where there is assessment happening. Also in the loan management, where there is a portfolio as a new offering which the loan management and origination systems are offering. We also go into trade finance platforms, supply chain finance platforms, where the decision are being made. We also have integrated with partners who are specifically offering the suite of APIs across different type of use cases. So that's been our strategy. But of course, we have been able to expand into new domains, which is how the investment community can be helped with AI. And that's our latest addition. We've been already working with the supply chain, where we are assessing customers of two large unicorns. We also do vendor assessments. We have done payment gateway risk, which is largely on the merchant risk and also the SME lending risk. In Singapore, we have done a couple of projects on that.
That's great, Shrikant. I've seen your growth in person and watching you grow massively. So, how do you see this evolving in future in terms of?
See, as I mentioned in the first question, the whole idea about us coming in is to solve for the B2B trust infrastructure. So we treat ourselves as infrastructure, and we are definitely now, as we see Web 3.0, blockchain and other things, we will look at going there. We are considering the tokenization as one of the aspects. So there are many opportunities of how this can go. One of the important aspects for us is that we have enabled uh, around more than $100 million of credit through our platform, as well as few large customers trust us very well. So for us, customer trust matters a lot, and we will keep customer at the center of these things before we evolve and create more offerings.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Shrikant, and look forward to seeing our partnership evolve and grow further together.
Yes, absolutely. And Mupul, Nucleus partnership means a lot for us because it has got tremendous tradition of 40 plus years. And then now we are seeing a lot of action in Nucleus. And it's more like every event we go, we see Nucleus playing a very active role. So very excited about this partnership.
Thank you so much. Great talking to you, Shrikant.